Hello there, Rogues. This is Devin here with the Rogue Deck Chronicle podcast, and today we're going to go over a little bit of a homebrew I've been working on with the Prismatic Evolution set. And we're going to look at Leafeon EX today. So Leafeon EX is a 270 HP Stage 1 Grass type Terra Pokemon. And I think what is interesting about this deck is it has two different ways you could play it. And we're going to try to utilize both of those ways today in the deck that we have today. So Leafeon EX has two different attacks. The first one is Verdant Storm, which is 60 times the amount of energy attached to all your opponent's Pokemon. So this attack will definitely take advantage of some decks in the meta that love to spread their board and have their board heavily invested with a lot of different energies. So we're talking Regidrago, Lugia, Charizard if they get a little too aggressive. So it's going to definitely have some fun with that. And then the second attack, like all of the Terra Pokemon, has a unique energy cost. And we'll talk about how we're going to be able to overcome that shortly. But it's for a Grass, a Fire, and a Water energy. Moss Agate does 230, but it heals 100 damage off each of your bench Pokemon. So we can definitely use this attack to heal damage off our bench to make sure that if you don't one-shot us, we're going to definitely punish you for that. And the best way we're going to be able to take advantage of that actually is we're going to go somewhat aggressive in terms of how we're going to manage the board. So we're going to use this Eevee. It has boosted evolution. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, it can evolve during the first turn or the turn that you play it. And we're never really going to attack with it, but ideally we're going to play it, lead with it, and we'll be able to evolve into Leafeon turn 1. And there's situations where we can definitely attack with Leafeon turn 1 depending on how the board state goes. Along with Leafeon, we're going to pair it up with Teal Mask Ogerpon. We're going to use the Teal Dance to put energy onto our board, set up a backup attacker in Teal Mask Ogerpon itself, but also utilize that Teal Dance to draw some cards in the hand. We're also going to be using Fezandipiti when wherever we do get a Pokemon KO'd, we can flip the script for 3. And then we're going to utilize Bibarel as the other part of our draw engine. Get the 5 in our hand every single turn. And in late game, we have Radiant Charizard here that does 250 and hits into a fire weakness. So we'll definitely be able to have a couple different options late game for attacking. In terms of how we're going to get our Pokemon out, we're going to be using Bug Catching Set. Look at the top 7, get any combination of basic energy or grass type Pokemon. We have plenty of those in our deck. We're going to use Nest Ball to set up our basics, because a lot of our basic Pokemon, the Eevee and the Bidoof, are normal types, which allows us to utilize Glass Trumpet. As long as we have a Terra in play, which we almost always will, either a Teal Mask or a Leafeon, we can utilize Glass Trumpet. We're going to Earthen Vessel for 2 different types of basic energy, because when you see the energy breakdown, you'll see why. Obviously, we have the unique energy costs in Leafeon, so Earthen Vessel is really good to give us some flexibility. We're going to run Night Stretcher and Super Rod for Pokemon and energy recycling. Ultra Ball for the search for potentially our Stage 2 or Stage 1s. Our stadium of choice for this is going to be areas or Underdepths. We do run a lot of Terra Pokemon naturally, so being able to just have a bigger bench to be able to get potentially multiple Bidoofs, multiple Teal Masks, Fezandipiti, a couple Leafeons, combination Leafeon and Teal Mask. The bigger bench will give us more options. That way we can be a little more aggressive with our draw philosophies. The A-spec of choice for this is going to be Sparkling Crystal. Sparkling Crystal will help make Leafeon EX's attack cost a little less funky, where we can drop that down to 2 different energy instead of 3. Or if we get into a pinch, we can just attack for 1 on Leafeon's first attack and use the Color's energy if we get stuck without any grass energy. In terms of supporters for the deck, we are going to be running 3 Arven. To get us a tool card or an item card, we run 3 different tools because we do run the Technical Machine Turbo Energize. So we will utilize that Turbo Energize. Ideally, if we don't have to attack turn 1, we can Turbo Energize 2 basic energy cards from our deck onto our bench Pokemon and kind of just do a turn 1 energy acceleration. We're also going to utilize Crispin to allow us to start your deck for 2 different basic energies. Put 1 in a hand and 1 into play. And then we're going to use Boss's Order to be able to snipe any targets late the end game to kind of get some prizes. In terms of energies, we're going to be running 8 grass, 3 fire, 2 water. We're running an extra fire over the water because of Radiant Charizard. We want to be able to utilize Radiant Charizard a little bit more in the late game. And then 8 grass, obviously grass is going to be part of our draw engine, but it's also going to be one of the biggest things that we will use as a resource for attacking as well. So there's the deck. Deck list will be in the description of the video. And let's get some matches in and see how it goes. Alrighty, so we are going second. And we are mulligan already. All the basic Pokemon we run, we somehow mulligan. We're going to be leading off with Bidoof, but we have the TM Turbo Energize, so we can get some cards onto the bench, which we have Bug Catching Set and Arven, so we should be able to set up a bench this turn. Okay. Another Teal Mask. So, what is our opponent going to be playing if he's playing a Teal Mask? Getting all his setup mons. Oh, Regidrago. Okay. So Regidrago is getting set up here. We could punish to Regidrago very easily. Not turn 1 because we don't really have a switch card, unfortunately, to get this Bidoof out of the active. But what we could do is what we want to do is set up an Eevee for sure. No energy attachments. Wow. Okay. So we have a Teal Mask in the play already. Let's Teal Dance right now before we Bug Catching Set. Another Grass Energy. So we're gonna Arven for a Nest Ball and a Crystal. Let's get a Nest Ball out. Since we already have a Bidoof, we can go after an Eevee here. Let's Bug Catching Set for 2 grass energies. Okay. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna just use one of the waters, so we can always get that back if we need to. And we're gonna Turbo Energize. I'm gonna Turbo Energize a grass on the Teal Mask and a fire on the Eevee. We're gonna start kind of slowly prepping this Eevee. Because we have 3 grass energy in hand, so we can Teal Mask at least 1 next turn. Now, at worst case scenario, we will be in most scenarios, we're going to be 2-hit-shotting this Regidrago here. Because unless he gets all 3 energy and we super load up onto this Teal Mask this turn, we're not going to be able to one-shot the Regidrago V. Right now, there's no dragons in the discard pile, but we could be seeing them soon. Because he has the Mew for the restart draw. So we really just need Oh, there it is. So he's going to have to get 3 energy in order to start copying that Dragon Ball, which means we need to evolve both Bidoof and Eevee like now. So we have Teal Mask and a draw. So we have 2 cards we're going to be able to see. And he researches into a fresh hand. So there's 2 energy on board, 3 energy on board, but no fire. No fire energy on board this turn. But he's gonna get the canceling clone, I bet. I bet what they want to do is shut down our abilities for the turn. But here comes the fire energy up. But they already attached for turn, so they can't get it into play right now. So we're safe for this turn. Perfect. Okay, so we have a turn to play. He didn't use the canceling clone, so let's definitely take advantage of the draw here. We get a fire energy. We're gonna retreat into the Teal Mask here. We're going to put pressure onto the active Draco because we're only doing 150. We're going to have the 2-shot regardless. So, my question is, should I hit into... I can't take a prize this turn. If I would have attached to the Teal Mask here and overcommitted, I could have taken one of the 2 here. But we're just gonna hit into it. I know that there is a Dragapult in his discard. But he also has Triforce, so he may just do the Triforce and take out our bench and force us to rebuild. Yeah, he's trying to get both his Reggies set up. He's Ionoing us. Which... I mean, we have the Radiant Zard, we have an Eevee. It might just be a little too late. Because he has pretty much all his attacking options in this discard pile now. He's ready to go. He's going to take 6 prizes very quickly. Now my question is, what attack is he doing this turn? Because that will kind of dictate how we kind of manage our next turn. I would assume he's going to try for it, or to do the Trifrost to take out the Eevee and the Bidoof. And they do 110 to the Ogerpon here. And yes, he will give up 1 Rage Draco V-Star, but he's going to be really taking us a turn or 2 back here. Or he could just do... He is doing... He's taking out the Eevee, and I would too, that's smart. Okay, so... Oh, I messed up, but it's fine. I messed up a little bit in terms of order, but we'll be fine. We got the Bibarel. That's huge. That is huge. Okay. Do I want to boss something? Because right now we're doing 210 to the active. But I won't be able to get 210 against anything else. I think what I want to do is just set up one Eevee with this. I don't want to give him Area 0 off the death to give him more space. We can Arven this turn. I want to check my discard pile. How many energies are in my discard pile? Enough. Okay. Okay. We are definitely playing a slower game right here, so we're gonna get rid of it. I don't think we need the Area 0 on the deaths for this turn, this game. I just want to draw, so I'm going to use this to draw, because we have the grass energy attached to both of these. And we just got the Radiant Zard back, and we have 2 fire energies, so if we have to, we can just attack into the Zard that way. You know what, I'm going to bench the Zard, just as that little insurance policy. So we're going to take 2 prizes. We have to assume he has the Rage Draco and all the pieces that return KO. We have a Bug Catching Set. So I guess my question is going to be, how does he, or what does he do this turn to really put pressure on us? Because I really don't know what attack he's going to be doing. Unless he Trifrosts both Eevees away. And Trifrost Eevee, Teal Mask Ogerpon puts us down to 1 prize, and then that makes Radiant Charizard super live. I don't know. But I guess that's the beauty of Rage Draco, right? Rage Draco really puts a lot of pressure onto your opponent because you don't know really what they want to do. Prime Catcher. You're getting rid of the Radiant Zard. Okay. So I think Temple Sinnoh doesn't hurt us. We don't run special energy. So my question is, how does he... This could be very crippling. Very, very crippling. I don't see 5 prizes, but I could be very wrong. There's 4 prizes. And like no, oh, we do technically have an attack, but we have an Eevee. So we're gonna promote this Eevee, and we're gonna have to do work right now, but we have it if we need to. So we're gonna evolve this turn. We're going to attach the water energy. Right now, we're doing 300 to Regidrago the way the board state is. So, but we're just gonna we have nothing really to lose in terms of how this board is set up right now. So we just really should thin and start grabbing stuff. We have no more EVs. Okay. No point of that. Okay. We have no more EVs, so Teal Mask would be the only other backup attacker. We have energies for retreats here. So we'll do Verdant Storm this turn. The only other attacker he has would be Teal Mask Ogerpon. And we have cards in hand this upcoming turn to KO the Teal Mask. Because we have the Fire Energy and we have the Crystal. Our opponent knows we have Crystal. So. But he just has to take one energy. Or one prize, so that the Bibarel's definitely live on that. And he can definitely set up a Teal Mask to do that. So he would need Boss to do that as well. Which we have to assume he has Boss. But the Leafeon really came in clutch here to really put pressure with all that energy. Yes. Yeah, okay. But we really put it, like, we had game, like, if he didn't have that, but we have to assume he always has play like that if he sets it up like that. Got really close to that. It was a really close fight against Regidrago, making us hit very hard, which we can both for our attackers. But let's go do another match and see how we do. Alright, time for another match. We are going second again. And we are leading with Fezandipiti. It's not the best lead, but a lead we can still play with here. We can get Arven for a Nest Ball. Playing against an Eevee EX deck. Okay. That runs... Okay, it runs Fire Energy, obviously. Fan Rotom. Okay. Runs the knockdown line, makes sense. Kind of curious if the our opponent's going to put an Area 0 Underdepths into play. They do not. Okay. And I say that purely because I want to not give them more bench space. I want to be a little more intentional in what we do. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to boost this Eevee. So we're going to Turbo Energize this turn. and then we'll see what our opponent does. I just realized Fezandipiti does 100 to any of your Pokemon for 3 colorless, so this could be a very interesting attacker one day, or in certain situations. But now we're watching them set up with the knockdown engine. But we could retreat, promote this Leafeon EX, hit for 230 next turn. And really start to put pressure on to our opponent. So let's see how they react. Alrighty, so there is that Flareon EX is going to be put into play. And that Flareon can do damage to us and hits for weakness, which means we realistically need to start setting up a second backup attacker. Not just the singular Leafeon. Alrighty, so yeah, our opponent is getting really set up here with the Terra Orb search, getting that Flareon in play really quickly. Our opponent does have to use the second attack if they want to one-shot the Leafeon, because the first attack doesn't do enough even with weakness. So that's important to see. But that doesn't matter. It takes out the Eevee. But we have Night Stretcher and we have Glass Trumpet. So we need to get a Terra into play, which we can. But we have to definitely see what we get off the top of the deck. And with the flip the script, we really do have to set up this turn. Alright. So, let's see what we get to see if we can stabilize. Another Glass Trumpet. So we'll just grab 3 real quick. Alright. So we're going to Turbo Energize again. Okay. So the Fezandipiti really did give us enough to set up there, allowing us to get another Eevee. We had to use the Night Stretcher for a Pokemon, that way we can just stabilize the bench just a little bit. Now we have 2 different Eevees that we could evolve into a Leafeon. Only one setup to attack, but we'll see how that kind of goes. I see the Flareon, our opponent, hitting this Fezandipiti and forcing us to do the evolution play. But we'll be able to use this attack 60 times at energy. Right now we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 240. He puts another energy into play that's going to be 300. So we'll be able to one-shot 1 Flareon. Yeah, so he has 5 energy in the play. Does he have another boss to take out an Eevee, or is he going to take out the Fezandipiti? He's taking out Fezandipiti. That's what I would have done, because Fezandipiti is the draw engine of the deck. But we now have a play to at least take out this attacker. Now, we can't do anything about the secondary attacker. We know he has a Flareon in hand. But what we have to do now is Arven. Well, we know we're going to use Sparking Crystal. You know what we're going to do here? On the Nest Ball for Bidoof, because we have the Bibarel in hand. I'm going to Glass Trumpet. One energy under the Bidoof just to... Yeah, so... We're in a Verdant Storm for 2. We're going to take the 2 prizes off this Flareon. We have Bidoof with an energy, so it is retreat. Like, it's not going to get stuck in the active because we can just mainly retreat it now. We just got an Ultra Ball and a Bug Catching Set, so we'll be able to more than likely set up another Leafeon next turn with this other Eevee. We know this Eevee EX is going to turn into a Flareon because we know he has a second one in him. Because he did not discard it, correct? He has not. So, we know that we're going to see a return KO, so our opponent is going to go down to 1 prize. Our opponent will not be putting more than 3 energy in the play this turn. There's 4 energy in the play. Okay. I'm intrigued on what our opponent's doing, actually. Very intrigued. Unless our opponent doesn't have the lightning energy. It's just going to Burning Charge, so we do survive a turn. Alrighty. Now, will they put... They put 1 more energy into play, then we're going to be able to KO this Flareon EX. And at the same time, we will be able to stabilize the board. They do not. Okay. So, let's put the Bibarel into play. Let's get a Bug Catching Set, which only gets us 1 energy. How many energy in our discard pile? Just the 1. We could Glass Trumpet, we will, because we want to thin our hand just a little bit here. So that Eevee is good to go if we get what we want out of it. Okay. Because right now we're only doing 240. We're 1 energy away from really doing like that peak damage situation. We didn't hit the Leafeon off either one of the Bug Catching Sets, which is a little bit of a feel bad move there. Put these cards in there. both active, so okay. Definitely want to do that. We could retreat and heal, which I don't know really advances the state as much, but it doesn't hurt to have it. So we're going to retreat. We're going to promote the other one. We can do this here. Get ourselves 5 new cards. Get rid of those. Grab a Teal mask. We'll put the Teal mask into play. Let's Crispin to see what we have in deck. Which we have both of those type of energies. We're gonna put the fire into hand. I'm gonna put the water there. We're gonna Night Stretcher for a Fezandipiti. We're gonna keep the Fezandipiti to make our opponent not target it, even though he has plenty of other targets that he can pick from right now. We're gonna do the 230, which does put him outside of range, or puts him outside of KO, but we're able to heal off 100 off that Leafeon. So there was a lot of just small decisions we had to do there. We put the main threat on the board, which is this Flareon, in a position where, yes, unless he gets the lightning energy again, we could put more pressure. There's a Super Rod, so lightning energy is probably going back into the deck. Yep, another Flareon's going back into the deck. So that Eevee on the bench is definitely getting set up. Had the lightning in hand already, so maybe that they drew that. So we have the Fez in hand, so unless they Iono this turn, we can just put the Fez on the board with the Bibarel and just fill our hand up and try to stabilize that way. We're able to do the healing attack next turn, which do the flat 230, which is great. But now our opponent is down to 1 prize, so we need to map out a lot of prizes really quickly. But we can figure it out. All right, so let's put Fezandipiti into play. Let's flip the script first. Okay. So let's Bug Catching Set. I'd rather have an Eevee before we Glass Trumpet. So let's Teal Dance to see if we can just draw something, which is the Eevee. Oh, fantastic. We're gonna Glass Trumpet a grass. And a fire. Attach for turn. We're gonna Earthen Vessel away this other Teal mask. We don't need to. So we're out of energy in the deck, which is fine. We just need to be able to recycle. So the Earthen Vessels are dead. So here's the thing. We have to do a play where we have to force our opponent to have something for the Eevee. Now, he can get the Flareon to do 230, which I think what we need to do is retreat this Eevee again. Or this Leafeon again. Promote this Eevee. Able to evolve it this turn. Because of what we did last turn, we'll just knock that out. Take the 2 prizes. We have a boss in hand. So if we can get a Night Stretcher, we can target down this Fezandipiti. Unless he has a boss Flareon combination. Which is fine. Yeah, so the Earthen Vessels are dead. We have 3 Earthen Vessels in our hand, but we could always use them for discard fodder if we get any more discard cards. Because I want to say both of our water energies are in the discards. We really do need another Glass Trumpet, which we've played all our Glass Trumpets. We've played both our Stretchers. So we're really at a spot where we really can't do too much here, unfortunately. So if he somehow puts 2 more energy on board, then the Fezandipiti is a KO. But I don't see him doing that intentionally. Or he gets the KO because he has the boss, which is what we thought. But still a really good match to showcase the power of this Leafeon. The deck did exactly what we wanted. We just ran into weakness. We definitely ran into just a tight matchup disadvantage, but the Leafeon still held his own very, very well. Did a really good job. So, but as you see with both of these, the fun part of building decks is sometimes you're not always going to get the results that you want, but you can still have very tough, very rewarding matches going into these into them when you're definitely playing on the ladder. But the Leafeon EX, definitely a lot of fun. We did good damage with the Verdant Storm ability. We were able to heal with the Mossa Gate. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. I know we didn't get any wins with the matches today, but it was one of those situations we really wanted to show off the how Leafeon EX can star into a meta. And honestly, if we would have ran into some Charizards, we would have been having a very different end of this conversation today. But we didn't, which is part of the opportunity of playing different matchups. But I hope everyone enjoyed the deck profile, enjoyed the matches. If you did, please like the video. It lets us know that you're enjoying this content, and we hope that you guys have fun playing those sneaky decks.